At the Sports History Network, we're proud to introduce you to a new sponsor for our podcasts. It's Home Field Apparel, your premium collegiate apparel brand right out of Indianapolis. They've got incredibly comfortable t-shirts, plus they're officially licensed with vintage college designs. They have over 150 plus colleges available now and always adding more. Homefield digs through the archives and history of your school to find unique logos, mascots, and moments to make thoughtful designs for your school. When you shop today, new customers can get a 15% discount off their first purchase using the promo code SPORTSHISTORY at checkout. You can learn more at homefieldapparel.com.
What happens when you have a fun-loving spirit like a big nose tackle Jim Burt playing and having friends on both teams in a game? Well, he enjoys himself, is the short answer, as we prepare you for this little short tale of some great football fun from the 1989 NFL season. It's all coming up in just a moment.
This is the Pigskin Daily History Dispatch, a podcast that covers the anniversaries of American football events throughout history on a day-to-day basis. Your host, Darren Hayes, is podcasting from America's North Shore to bring you the memories of the gridiron, one day at a time. So as we come out of the tunnel of the Sports History Network, let's take the field and go no huddle through the portal of positive gridiron history with pigskindispatch.com.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hello, my football friends. This is Darren Hayes of the Pigskin Dispatch podcast. Welcome once again to the Pigpen, your portal to positive football history. And what a great show we have for you today. We're going to have a little bit of a shorter segment. We're going to tell you a very entertaining story from the 1989 NFL season. One I think you'll enjoy, see a little bit of lighter side of the game of football and some of its great players. But before we do, I want to make sure that you are aware that you can be on our email newsletter list. Really simple, by going to the show notes of this podcast, clicking on email subscription, and you will get an email each day at 6:30 a.m. letting you know everything is going on in the Pigpen and with our friends over at sportshistorynetwork.com. It's a great little way to know what's coming up, and also to help you know when we have podcasts coming out. Another way to do it is to subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast provider. Give us some likes, give us some thumbs up, give us some good reviews. We really appreciate all the efforts that you do and for listening to us here in the Pigpen. Now let's get to our story. Now, there has been some real characters throughout football history that have done some really crazy things. And the story we share here today, I found in the very entertaining book, Football Records, Wild Happenings, Odd Facts, Amazing Moments, and Other Cool Stuff by author Ron Martinarano. Now, he's really is the cat's meow, this story. Now, football players, just like others in the workforce, that they work with people that they like, they sometimes like to have a little bit of fun with them and jest. Jim Burt was a defensive lineman that in 1989 moved out west to the West Coast to play with the San Francisco 49ers. The nose guard had previously spent the earlier portion of his career with the New York Football Giants, and Jim, in fact, was on the Giants team that ended up winning Super Bowl 21. On the Niners, the men around him really looked up to this champion, not only for having a strong play and being just a large man and plugging up the middle of an offense, but for his wisdom and the sound game day advice. Lo and behold, during the 1989 season, San Francisco would face off against Jim Burt's old teammates, the Giants. While looking for an upper hand against the other members of the Niners' defensive front, asked the veteran Burt for any advantages they could gain against the Giants' offensive linemen. Burt told them that one of the G-men big boys was deathly afraid of cats, even the sound of them. While the 49ers' defensive front was ready on game day. Early on, they lined up with and made meowing sounds all over the D-line in an effort to distract the New York big men. As the game wore on, it seemed to have little effect, so the cat calls, meows, and purring became even louder and more demonstrative by the 49ers. The Giants looked at each other a little bit bewildered as to why their opponents were acting in this way, but none of them were afraid, and they did not even seem a bit distracted from doing their jobs. They came out and just played football. It seems that Burt ended up making up the whole story and had a big old belly-aching laugh about it. He didn't hurt either side in the matter, as he showed good jolly loyalty to both sides, as he had friends on both teams, both with the Giants, his former teammates, and his new teammates on the San Francisco 49ers. Oh, and by the way, besides winning Super Bowl 21 with New York, a few years later, Jim Burt and the 49ers, well, they won Super Bowl 24. So a champion is a champion no matter where, and if you can have fun doing your job, why not do it? And Jim Burt seemed to have the best of both worlds, as he played on some great teams with some great teammates and won some championships on both coasts while having a little bit of fun. So there's our story of a little bit of football history for you today. Hope that opens you up to have a great weekend. Got a long one here, a nice holiday weekend coming up. And make sure you check out our new podcast sponsor, and a sponsor at sportshistorynetwork.com. It's Home Field Apparel, homefieldapparels.com. And you can get some vintage t-shirts of over 150 colleges of vintage logos on these shirts. And these shirts are high quality, well done, come well packaged, and it's a special treat when you get one in the mail. And you can find them at homeapparels.com, and you get a 15% discount if you use the words sports history at checkout. And tell them Darren sent you, and get your favorite team. And send me some photos of what you have on when you get your home apparel t-shirts. I'd love to see you with them on. Send them to pigskindispatch@gmail.com. We'd love to take a look at them and see those photos of your favorite squads as you get ready for game day and the big college football season coming up. So till tomorrow, everybody, have a great Gridiron Day. Peeking up at the clock, the time's running down. We're going to go into victory formation, take a knee, and let this baby run out. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back tomorrow for the next podcast. We invite you to check out our website, pigskindispatch.com, not only to see the daily football history, but to experience positive football with our many articles on the good people of the game, as well as our own football comic strip, Cleat Marks Comics. Pigskindispatch.com is also on social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget the Pigskin Dispatch YouTube channel to get all of your positive football news and history. A special thanks to the talents of Mike and Gene Monroe, as well as Jason Neff, for letting us use their music during our podcast.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
It was just another ordinary day in the offices of the Pittsburgh Guardian newspaper circa 1924. But for Marla Delft, assistant editor, everything was about to change. For she was about to discover the awesome attractiveness of Row 1 brand retro sports paraphernalia items thanks to Orville Mulligan, sports writer.
And there it is.
Wow, Orville, that's really the bee's knees.
Isn't it just? A poster-sized replica of the actual 1909 World Series program cover.
I can see that. But where did you get it? And where'd you get it framed?
I ordered it from the Row 1 website, where over 6,000 items of sports memorabilia from the 1880s to the 1990s are available for reproduction, in multiple sizes and in several different materials, with over a dozen styles of frame to choose from for prints like this.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Delft would love to put up more of these in the office. But I'm equally as sure they're beyond this newspaper's budget.
Not at all, my dear Marla. See for yourself. Go to sportshistorynetwork.com/row1.
sportshistorynetwork.com/row1. Oh my, these are good prices. Oh, and look at this stuff. Oklahoma-Nebraska football, college basketball art, Michael Jordan items.
And so it
retro
was that
sports
Marla Delft
advertisement
discovered the
classics.
splendiferous magic of Row 1 sports memorabilia, arts, and prints. You can too by visiting sportshistorynetwork.com/row1. That's ROW1 today for access to the full Row 1 catalog of gallery prints and gifts like t-shirts, long-sleeve shirts, telephone cases, coffee mugs, blankets, pillows, towels, and even shower curtains. Act today for 15% discount off all prints with coupon code SHN15 and 20% off all other items with coupon code SHN20 at checkout. And keep your dial locked to the Sports History Network for the exciting chronicles of the 1920 sports world in Orville Mulligan, Sports Writer, coming soon.